Alrighty, so I just got out of the Angry Birds movie 2, and you're probably wondering how was I able to see this movie even though it doesn't come out for another 2 weeks? Well, here's the thing. Target had this thing going on where if you're a Red Card member and you go to the website and you go to Atom Tickets to get tickets, you can go to a special screening of the film 2 weeks before it comes out. So I am a Target Red Card member, so I use my membership on that, and I guess you could probably go in anyway, even without a red card, because they didn't check me whenever I came into the theater. And it's weird, because, like, usually when I go to the movies, there's, like, about maybe 6, 7 previews. I know there was a couple for Hobbs and Shaw, which I'll get to in a little bit, but with this Target thing that they did, all it did was show like a preview for Jumanji: the Next Level, which looks pretty good, by the way. I really like the last one, so I'm looking forward to that one when it comes out at Christmas. But after that, they just jumped right into the movie. It's just like, here's Jumanji, and then boom, right into the movie. And I'll say this about the first Angry Birds movie: I actually really enjoyed it. I think up until Detective Pikachu came out this year, that Angry Birds movie was probably high up there as far as the best video game adaptations out there. Which, when you really think about it, it's not really that high of a bar, honestly. But when I came out of this movie, I thought I enjoyed it. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as the first movie. I did enjoy it more than Secret Life of Pets 2, which I had a lot of problems with that, mostly in the story department. And there's definitely a lot of flaws in the story in this, but as far as this movie goes, it's a much more fluid story than I think Secret Life of Pets 2 does. But, I mean, for this movie in particular, the Angry Birds movie 2, I did enjoy it, mostly because I thought the animation was pretty good. It's actually much higher quality than I thought it was going to be compared to the first movie, which the first movie actually had some decent animation to it. The comedy, which I thought was actually really funny in the first movie, it's more missed than hit here. There are actually some funny jokes in here, some pretty dark humor too, surprisingly. Even like cute stuff, like the hatchlings. Like, I didn't think that was going to be funny at all. It looked like they were setting it up kind of like the scrat portion of the, like how Ice Age has the scrap portions in there. They were kind of setting that up as this movie's version of the Ice Age scrap storyline going on. And some of those jokes actually got pretty funny, too. So, yeah, like I said, the comedy's more missed than hit. There are times when you will laugh in this movie, but overall, it's not as funny as the first movie. I'll say that. The voice cast, once again, is pretty good here. Jason Sudeikis is very good in here. Josh Gad, Danny McBride, Bill Hader. People from the first movie all back. Peter Dinklage is back as the Mighty Eagle. Some of the new characters I did like. I liked Rachel Bloom's character, Silver, who I liked the chemistry that she and Jason Sudeikis have in this movie. Leslie Jones as the villain is okay. There's some decent moments with her here and there, but for the most part, she's just there to be the villain. Like, I will say for the voice cast in this, they got a lot of star-studded people in this for, like, really small roles in this. Like, you would have never guessed that Tiffany Haddish would have been in this movie, but apparently she was. I guess that's her thing this year. She's got to be in every animated sequel that comes out this year. She was in Lego Movie 2 and Secret Life of Pets 2. I guess she couldn't get Toy Story 4, but you get the idea. Speaking of Toy Story 4, the mime that always goes, "Oh my God," is like, I had no idea that was actually Tony Hale. Because, like, he shows up a couple of times in this movie, but not a whole lot, but yeah, it's like, wow, you really got Tony Hale to come in here to just say these 3 words together for, like, I think he says it about like 3 or 4 times throughout the course of the film. It's just like, why? What's the point of that? Like, you also would have never guessed that they got Nicki Minaj to be in this. You wouldn't have guessed they got Pete Davidson or Beck Bennett or David Dobrik or who's another person that I was surprised they had in here. Awkwafina's in here for a little bit. Sterling K. Brown from This Is Us, and it's not that they weren't bad, they just felt kind of pointless. Like, you could have gotten any other voice actors to be in there and they would have been perfectly fine, but the way they put them in here, it just feels kind of needless. But like I said, I enjoyed the film a lot. I think it definitely will be enjoyed more if you like the first movie and you've played the games, which I have on both parts. I think if you're a newcomer to this, you probably won't enjoy it all that much, but for the most part, it's an enjoyable film. For middle August, when there's not really a whole lot of family films coming out, it's worth a watch. Like, if you don't want to go see Lion King again or Toy Story 4 or anything like that, this is definitely worth it. It's harmless. I think kids will enjoy it more than the adults will. It's a fun movie, which is pretty much what I can say about Hobbs and Shaw too, which I think, out of all those movies, the Fast and Furious movies, this is my favorite one, even though that one's not part of the canon of the Fast and Furious films. It's a spin-off film, but Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham just work off each other so well in this movie. Vanessa Kirby was actually really good in here too. The action was overall great. The comedy works really well here. There's even some pretty good cameos in here, like Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Hart have moments in here where they're in this. Idris Elba was kind of fun as the villain, Black Superman. He really is Black Superman. Actually, I don't know. Maybe he is. I thought someone was looking at me, but what am I saying? Yeah, I liked Idris Elba as the villain here. The movie is Hobbs and Shaw. I thought was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be, because I thought, okay, it's Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham. They were the two best things I liked about Fate of the Furious, which I think is the worst Fast and Furious movie. That movie is such a bore all around, and after seeing Men in Black International, I just don't think F. Gary Gray shouldn't direct those type of big blockbuster caliber movies. I think he's like Shane Black in a way. Give him someone with a small budget, give him someone with a good script, he can make it work. But with Hobbs and Shaw, so I'm trying to straighten the camera out here. There we go. As I was saying, yeah, I know there's going to be lots of pauses here, but you know what? We're going to keep going. But yeah, as far as Hobbs and Shaw go, I actually really enjoyed this movie. And for David Leitch, this is the same guy that worked on the John Wick movies. He gave us Deadpool 2 last year, and he did Atomic Blonde, which is a really good movie. He's really quickly becoming one of my favorite action directors. Like, he's doing such a fantastic job with movies like this. I really want to see another Hobbs and Shaw movie with him directing, and I want to see where they can take this, because Hobbs and Shaw was a real fun movie. One of the more fun films I saw this summer. Where this is the perfect example of summer popcorn escapism entertainment. Like, you're not going into Hobbs and Shaw expecting like a deep, thought-provoking film, like a Christopher Nolan-style blockbuster, which, by the way, that new the teaser for Tenet was on this. That looks really good. Like, I really like that actor, John David Washington from BlacKkKlansman. He's going to be the main star in it with Robert Pattinson. They had a teaser for it. I'm really looking forward to that when that comes out next year. But as far as right now, Hobbs and Shaw is a really good movie. If you want to see Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham just work off each other and beat the crap out of each other, this is definitely worth a watch. And now I gotta go charge my phone here.